Yeah.
half full if, you know, you wanted to put water in a hat. Why that came out of my mouth. But I feel like Khan is such a safe Gnar player, too. I can't overstate how many times he has been dove, he has been teleported upon. And I'm talking about, like, he's under turret and he gets away because he's able to identify, okay, someone's coming, he backs away, the teleport still comes through, he's already back to his turret, and he just jumps over and then takes a fight Megnar under his turret and everyone has to back off. It's happened so many times.
Yeah. And also, his forward percentage is extraordinarily high, so it shows that he still plays aggressively and puts on the pressure, but isn't necessarily punished for it. So it has been intelligent play. You can see the win rate. Definitely better than the Renekton matchup for the Quinn. And we'll have a look, see whether it's actually going to remain the same here against a formidable opponent in Khan's Gnar. As we'll have a look. Yeah, I did talk about Life's Rakan. It's pretty good, guys.
Yeah, Life has played so many unusual champions. Not to say that Rakan wasn't ever in the forefront of the meta, because he kind of has been at times, but nice headbutt there from Barrel. That's actually going to be a scary trade.
That was actually really good, denying a lot of that follow-up damage from the Grand Entrance. As this one's pretty close.
Which is not, you know, the case in China, whereas, you know, Xayah has really taken big priority there in this matchup and has a good win rate. Not only isolated, but also into the Kai'Sa. But, yeah, I mean, Life is really good at several different, you know, niche picks. The Jarvan he's played as of late is obviously one he's most famous for. And, you know, this bot lane needs to be stable, right? I think it has to be crushed by Ruler in Life, but it needs to be stable. They need to not suffer any blemishes early, so that Xayah could scale. But Kai'Sa also does scale. So I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the idea was for this. I mean, early on in the first few Drake fights, the skirmishes can be controlled. You can really shut down what Kai'Sa's trying to do position-wise in team fights with the Xayah, but they otherwise don't have a front line, like you said, which seems to be the elephant in the room.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Elephant that's squishy.
It feels like a 4-1 composition, but the 4 I don't think are going to be as strong, right? I feel like the force from Damwon is going to be there, and it's going to take a lot of finesse out of Gen.G to make this work. Of course they can, right? Especially with early leads, and they're going to go for this gank on the top side to see whether that's going to make it work out. Blind comes through. Khan going to get flashed on and has to flash away, but still is going to die. First blood going over to the Lilia is great news and a great start for Flawless as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just nothing traded back here really either. You know, Nidalee was in blue side jungle and just not nearby at all, not able to pressure the bot lane with the way the lane priority is right now. So very, very nice early start here. And against a player that I've been heralding too is a Gnar who just doesn't die topside. And perhaps a bit of a caster curse, but it was a really well-executed dive, really nice timing from Flawless. And the damage output for Quinn at this stage versus a Gnar that hasn't bought items is pretty nice. It's going to do a lot.
Oh yeah.
So pretty nice timing and a great lead.
And now has a pickaxe to augment that build as well. That Cull stacking up. See what he can get done here is once again another engagement onto Ghost. He takes a lot of damage as the Aftershock procs. Barrel now having to get away because his is down as well. The Ruler's just throwing these feathers out and pulling them in at exactly the right time to get maximum damage as Showmaker. I mean, the orb battle in the mid lane is not exactly the most exciting, but can certainly go both ways, and we'll see who's going to be able to leave this lane with an advantage. So far, Showmaker definitely going in BDD's favor.
Yeah, Showmaker is trying not to use his teleport, so he's not going to have any choice anymore. His BDD already went back and had the mana advantage. He's just able to spam out abilities better. Now he's backing, and when he gets back in the lane, he'll catch up a little bit. Still going to be behind us. Flawless again, coming up aggressively here versus Khan, and again with that back, there's just no way for Showmaker to come over here, so I like this timing.
Well, Khan actually just going to destroy the Blast Cone, but certainly lost out on that trade. The Watch Out Eat just being used so comfortably. Of course, Khan wanting to hold on to the hop so he could get over the wall just in case he got collapsed on. Probably not finding the Blade Cooler damage.
He had to back again. Does finally teleport back into lane, but he lost a lot of CS, and actually even some crit damage was taken there in the mid lane as well. So this is a really nice start for BDD, and Gen.G, they don't have more than just one kill to kill on the con. But otherwise, the map has been controlled by them. So this is the kind of start you're looking for with a composition like this.
Yeah, precisely.
So good.
The jungle's still being owned by Can. You can see there's a lot of deep vision there, especially towards the top side of the map. So could be a possibility that he heads up there and tries to stop this Quinn from having a huge advantage. The really good thing about the Gnar matchup for the Quinn is that you get to take the Ignite here. Of course, often you see the Cleanse, but it's not like you're getting walloped, right? If you're getting walloped by a Gnar as Quinn, then you've done something massively wrong. So
yes, something's going wrong for sure.
Works against the sleep, of course, if Flawless comes in for a gank, but at that point, you know, you try and get out of there before any of that. Oh, sorry. Of course, Kang's the one that's going to be ganking him, so he's going to be fine there. No CC to worry about.
Yep. Life here can actually jump over this wall and respect this, but they're not.
Whoa. Grand entrance interrupted beautifully there by Beryl, as now they're looking to try and turn it around. Showmaker flashes forward with a shockwave, doesn't quite get it the way he wants to as the orbs fly forward, and the Orianna's taken down. A double kill now for BDD, who's getting his vengeance on the map right now. Not against Chovy, of course, but thankfully finding himself once again.
Showmaker trying to make the heroic play happen with the shockwave, but it's just not enough. It's too little too late. They're too out-positioned. And Life, you know, he gets focused immediately when he does go over the wall, but here indeed. Looks like Ghost will be okay.
Blade Caller. Yeah, Blade Caller mana was there, but just not quite in position. There's Killer Instinct. Does get out the heal from Ruler, who knows that the Acathian Rain could take him down. So it's actually a decent trade. Ghost just getting himself a free summoner spell.
Yeah, that was actually really nicely played by Ghost. Knowing the timing too of his where his experience bar was at. Life is back and they will have to back away, but really nice trade, grabbing a summoner spell. And the Drake is just in kind of flux right now because we had so much aggression on the bot side of the map and so many trades. The summoner spell going down for Ruler. There's just not any dominant position for either team to take that at the moment. So we're going to watch this again. Life goes over the wall. I mean, Beryl immediately reacts, right? And pushes him into the Drake pit. But they actually can't follow up, and he just dashes back. And Showmaker is trying to be a hero and comes over and has a really nice shockwave, but he's so squishy. And he just gets focused down. Then Beryl's out of position, so not knowing where Life was and then also committing the Alistar there, all of his resources onto a Rakan, I think really hurts them. Might have wanted to just play it slower there, but jump the gun a little bit.
Well, we'll see how it goes as the game goes on. You can see Rascal now just continuing to play aggressively here towards the top side. Now has Valor that he can hop onto if ever he needs to rotate around. You can see he's just clearing out these waves as best he can. Oh, point blank spear gonna miss. Of course, very, very fast on Bambi right now, so is able to move towards the side. Showmaker taking a bit of damage here, and he's really struggling against BDD right now.
He had that awkward back timing earlier, where he had to back twice, and that started to kind of snowball things into BDD's favor. So you can see Beryl be aggressive here. I don't know if this is really where he wants to be. They have the wave pushing, so looking for any opportunity he can to maybe set up a nice headbutt. His Life doesn't have 6 yet either.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's something we kind of zoom in on here right now for Damwon and Kia, because Showmaker is going to be one of the big playmakers, and he almost was the one who saved that last team fight for them with the shockwave. And if he finds himself falling too far behind, then he's just not going to be able to do the damage and hit those shockwaves the way he wants to in some of these mid-game fights. So right now he's a ways behind. You know, it's not unrecoverable by any means, but just not what you expect out of this player who has had a rough last few series.
Very true. Ooh, Flawless. Looks like he might be going towards a bit of a Moonstaff build here, which is
yeah,
very intriguing. Can, of course, do
exciting
that.
for a lot of people.
Yeah, when you have the Syndra in the mid lane. Doesn't need to be relied upon for magic damage whatsoever. And so that might actually help them out as far as, you know, scaling is concerned. Won't give them a front line necessarily, but at least gives them some healing.
It gives them staying power, you know?
Yeah.
Makes everybody last longer and live longer. And what they need to do to survive some of these extended fights will be just that. Especially if, like, for example, if Showmaker has a big ult in, you know, shockwaves in, and everybody goes down to, you know, they lose a third of their health or half of their health in that moment, but then back away. That actually allows you to heal back up and then engage in while that's on cooldown for Showmaker. So That could be a great response.
Yep, especially considering when you pop the Lilting Lullaby, you are going to be getting it on a lot of people, assuming you've played the team fight correctly. So certainly some ways to make this this Moonstaff work. Lilia, I think, is one of the best users of it, but still don't know where he's necessarily going to go. We haven't seen the Staff of Flowing Water portion of the build. We've seen Moonstone. It actually came out of Gen.G last time. Clid picked that one up, so just have to see. As Ruler clearing out this minion wave and is going to even things up with Ghost completely. So the bottom side is certainly a wash, but as you can see, solo lane's being owned by Gen.G. The jungle in favor of Canyon by a little bit, but the kill and assists will work out in Flawless's favor.
See a big rotation over here towards the mid lane from Life, but he is spotted. There are a lot of danger pings going down. He's not actually going to commit. We'll get this ward actually placed and we'll clear that. It's like, oh, I see. I see, you know I'm here. Very aggressive positioning here from Life.
Yep, trap comes in.
BDD here. I'm actually a little bit worried about that. I was worried about that.
It's okay. You don't need to worry anymore.
It's all good. Oh. Pass. The dangerous pass.
Breathe. It's okay. Oh, good stun. Lands on a Showmaker. Fair bit of damage there from BDD. Just trying to soften up the Orianna as best he can. Continuing to hold on to that advantage. And speaking of which, Kraken Slayer actually done for Ruler. Yeah. He's got a nicer back timing than what Ghost was able to get towards.
And it looks like, you know, this is where they're grouping up to try to take a Drake fight. Khan is...
Ow.
He's not going to die, but he does flash. I don't know if that was 100% necessary, but...
I mean, he was blind. He just didn't know what was coming, you know? Maybe Rascal was still chasing him and still had Ignite, had Flash. There was a chance that Khan just dies there, so he does have to Flash to get himself out of the way.
But they get the Drake here, you know, which is really, really nice for Gen.G. A nice start, and it's the perfect kind of Drake you want to actually at this stage of the game for the composition they're running, just a little bit of extra damage.
Yep, it's going to be the Mountain Drake up next, and then probably a Cloud Soul.
Probably.
So that's just how it works out here. Rascal will clear out this minion wave, and with, 45 seconds before the turret plates do fall down, he's only managed to get one of them. So, kudos to Khan for that one. Of course, Quinn does generally get judged by her ability to lock down these turret plates. We've got a lot of people here in the mid lane.
Yeah, almost a play potentially there for Showmaker and Barrel. Because he had the ball in a place where it could have been a nice shockwave. Barrel comes in with a follow-up knock up and then maybe set up for a headbutt. But they don't commit it, which is, I think, well played by Damwon Kia. Herald going to get some extra plates. I feel like the lead is good here for Gen.G across all lanes, obviously. But the question is it enough of a lead? Because we haven't seen a proper team fight yet. And the later this game goes, the more of those we are going to see. Potentially even at this next Drake could be the first one where we see an actual real front-to-back team fight attempted from Damwon Kia.
Yep.
The Shockwave being a great way to engage. So it looks good for Gen.G now, but we'll have to wait and see how that first team fight plays out to see if their lead's enough. And I think it might just barely be enough of a lead to where Damwon Kia are going to struggle in this upcoming fight.
I imagine so. 3.5 minutes on that dragon that you are talking about. And of course, Shirley will be up very shortly, but she's not exactly high value. As of course, turret plates have fallen down. Still just going to have a trader farm here for our bottom lane carries. It's nothing to worry about. But Ruler having a free time is definitely going to be good news. If we've seen anything from our Xayah players, it's that you just can't really get anywhere in the laning phases. There's a decent pulverize to come through from Beryl. Knocks up Life, but Life keeps himself alive. Able to just utilize his Aftershock very nicely. And it's no harm, no foul. Canyon moves on over. Gets a control ward in the brush, and they know that he's there.
Yep. We're going to come clear this up. Actually, Flawless is nearby. They both ping each other. Spider-Man looking at each other on that meme. But, looks like Beryl is just going to get both wards and get away.
Yep.
In fact, we'll clear this one as well. Beryl having a really nice time with Vision here for just a moment. Flawless is camping out here, but Showmaker is respecting him really, really well. I mean, he's hoping maybe for a long-range bowling ball sweep there, but Showmaker's like, yep, how many more resources are you going to spend on solo killing me? Or not solo killing, but diving me. I'm just going to sit here. He's not missing any CS. He's only 2 down, in fact, at this stage.
Ooh, Khan. Has to hop to get himself out of the way. Oh, the blind is going to miss, but Khan looks like he's still dead. Yeah, cool guys don't look at explosions as Rascal grabs himself another solo kill. I think that's 10 for the season already.
He is just dominating the top lane matchup, every single one, including Khan, right? This is where I thought maybe the Unstoppable Force hits an immovable object in Khan's Gnar, but that has just not been the case. He is crushing it. Got an early Gale Force. You know, he had that pickaxe early as well, you mentioned. He's just non-stop in ahead. Now he's got his Berserker Greaves online.
Oh man, we're getting close to Collector.
Worse. Yeah.
This is real crazy. Again.
Yep. On stun, he has the follow-up damage as well as Cloudburst. Khan just dies. He's just trying to turn it around as best he can. Press all his buttons, but it just doesn't matter. At the end of the day, and it starts to feel like the snowball is getting pretty big as it rolls down this hill. 1 minute to that potential Drake fight. I think Damwon Kia have to try to take it. If they just give it up, then Gen.G don't have to even commit that much to taking it. They might actually get a turret and a Drake. I think this is where Damwon Kia should make their stand. Here's the gold difference, and I think it could get even worse if they don't actually try to take a straight-up team fight. And they don't have, you know, there's not a big power spike for Damwon Kia here, but I feel like the time is ticking against them right now. So I don't think they have a choice.
And this is crazy. I think we've got Deadman's play coming through from Flawless, as we do have another fight breaking out. Spear is going to miss onto life, but the Void Seeker does find him. Trying to soften up the Rakan as best they can. Are we going to see, like, frontline Lilia?
I mean, it could work. It's certainly something that you and I have talked about in the past. It does make her hit pretty hard, too, with her auto, which is kind of funny as Showmaker.
Oh, dear. Ulti comes down, flash forward from Rascal as the Shockwave can't even go off. And Rascal's just getting out of control. Like, this is exactly what had to happen for Gen.G, and everything that they needed to happen has happened.
Yeah, it's like the prophecy has come true.
Yeah.
What they prophesize in draft, and like, this is the one player you can't lose if you're going to contest Drake. The one player you can't lose, the one player who's going to set up your team fight for you, and he's just way out of position, doesn't have any vision, he's trying to rejoin his...
Oh no, the boomerang didn't even land there as Rascal, he's going to land the blind, but that's going to be a beautiful crunch, and goodbye, my friend, on the top side. That's huge for Khan, being able to answer back there.
Yeah, that's also going to get him a ton of damage on this turret, if not the turret itself. Well, he doesn't have a second wave coming in just yet, but going to get a lot done. A little bit of an I guess overconfidence from Rascal is the best way to put it there, because the stun was going to hit, and he knew that. He was right on a wall. Just maybe not understanding the power levels, as we're going to see Showmaker, like, where is he trying to go? There's a control ward in the brush he knows about. There's, like, no secret here. There's nobody he can even join up with. That was a... Showmaker definitely really messing that one up, sadly, I have to say.
Didn't really have to flash. There's in we go. We're going to be able to take down Life here on the bottom side. As that was in the replay, I believe we missed that one, as we're going to check out Khan just having the Nabar in exactly the right spot, and unfortunately just not enough damage from Rascal to get the work done before that one came down.
Yeah. So nice for Khan, like you said. I mean, that's a really huge turnaround there. But I don't know if it'll be enough, as things are starting to spiral out of control. Gen.G got both Drakes. We're able to pick Showmaker. Again, he's only a few CS behind, but he's not getting any kills. He's not able to join team fights. And this issue can just kind of start to get worse and worse as he tries to rotate in, if they have always the vision control that they're still holding right now.
I'm trying to work out whether this is a replay or whether this is live, and I think it's live, as we're going to have a bit of a collapse towards the bottom side. Ruler taking a bit of damage from the Acathian Rain. Bowling Ball, good onto Beryl. Not going to put him to sleep just yet, though, as this tower is going to be the focus, and Gen.G managed to take that one down. That's going to extend their gold lead just a little bit, but it's only 2,000. I feel like Gen.G need to keep their feet on the pedal in order to ride this one forward, and Khan is just feeling so much better here in this lane, and almost towards his second item.
This happens too because the river is controlled by Gen.G. You know, if we watch it again, that tower going down, which we won't, it's not a team fight, we're probably not going to replay, but Showmaker couldn't get there. He was cut off from the rest of his squad. They can't take that 2v2 fight around the turret. It's just not possible, especially when they don't have vision. So they just kind of have to let it go. But elsewhere on the map, they're not getting anything done. Canyon is up on CS, as you pointed out earlier, but he hasn't gotten any value on the map. He hasn't gotten any assists or any kills, and it's a Nidalee that, you know, can certainly do a lot of poke damage and can help you slowly set up for fights, but you know, you're looking at a kind of matchup advantage. I don't know if this is the one you want, but it's the one they've got with Italy being up 30 CS. And I do wonder if Damwon Kia, they don't win this next upcoming fight, which will very likely be another Drake fight. I don't know if Gen.G will be able to force a Baron. If they can ever recover. Again, only 2,000 gold behind, but the map belonging to Gen.G means they can never take fights on their terms. They can never have the vision they need to look for those engages. And Showmaker is just constantly being hounded down by Gen.G. Non-stop. It's flawless, and BDD cutting him off at every turn.
Yeah.
And even Rascal as well.
Rascal's actually been roaming extraordinarily effectively. I think the reason why this Gen.G comp is working is because the Quinn has got online. But she needs to keep putting on the pressure, right? You can actually never take your foot off the pedal with this composition. Because as soon as you delve into even territory, when it's a later stage of the game, Damwon Kia's ability to force team fights should be able to get them advantages. But
yeah,
we'll just see whether, you know, Flawless's different build path is going to be what gets them over the line in that regard. Certainly something that could turn the tides here in this fight.
Going to be a turret trade right now, but the question is, do they survive this? Like, Canyon, I don't think Rascal even knew he was here. He's going to die. And then what happens to Khan?
Okay, Khan actually going to move on in here as Canyon bounces away, not actually far enough as now Khan. He's being baited in, has to flash, Void Seeker, going to miss, but Khan is going to escape with his life.
That's huge that he survives, but they still lose Canyon. Again, I don't think Rascal even knew he was there. He was like, well, I was going over there to go ahead and grab a kill onto Khan. I see you on my way. Looking for a 2-for-1 exchange there. And I mean, I say 2-for-1 like as if you're 2 for the price of 1, not like a 2-for-1 trade. He was never gonna die. And it ends up being fantastic, the rotation here. And look at this, it's just like, see you later, Canyon. And Khan's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Canyon's like, please save me! I'm gonna stopwatch. This ruler's coming down as well. And Khan just barely gets out. Not even the greatest flash, but he gets out, and they didn't know where Ghost was. So they respect it. But yeah, this lead is just snowballing. And this is the worst time ever for this to happen. I actually like Damwon Kia controlling this Baron, though.
Yeah, Life actually going down to about half health, but does make his way out of there. As now Beryl taking a lot of damage from Ruler. Ruler avoiding the majority of what's going on here as Rascal looking for the blind, but doesn't find it. And the grand exit there from Life to get him out to safety. But they do deter Damwon Kia from taking this Baron at 23.5 minutes. And I feel like they're starting to wake up on the side of Damwon Kia. This Cloud Drake, sorry, will get Gen.G to soul point, but it is a Cloud Soul, of course.
Yeah. I actually really like that Damwon Kia knew that taking the Drake fight was unrealistic. They had a group up and vision control around the Baron, or at least they were trying to wrestle that away. And trying to force a fight on their terms, trying to force Gen.G to rotate into them. Because I think that is the way that they win these team fights, right? And with Gen.G delaying that and then eventually stopping it, it doesn't work out, but at least the game plan for Damwon Kia is to try to set up group up for these big fights where they have vision control. And they lose their chance here. They don't get the Baron. Gen.G still get the Drake. They don't get the team fight they were looking for. But inevitably, we will get to those fights. So will Gen.G be able to close the game out before that happens? Or did Damwon Kia actually finally get to play a 10-man League of Legends game? Only time will tell, but it starts to feel like we're not going to see that. It starts to feel like Gen.G are just going to run away with this as Rascal once again. Looking for Khan.
Yeah, he picks up his boomerang as now he's trying to jump after Rascal, doing a fair bit of work, but gets blinded in the end. Showmaker looking for him. There's Killer Instinct. Nails the Void Seeker, and that is the kill onto the Quinn. But it is a collapse of 3 people towards the bottom lane. Gen.G not quite in position to capitalize.
Yeah, there's just too much vision from Damwon Kia actually having that Baron start just moments ago, so it takes them so long to clear it. There's just no way they can actually trade that back, so ends up being a really nice kill for Damwon Kia. Actually almost committing the ult there to look for Ruler being picked as well. Gotta think better of it, but Damwon Kia, you could see the map change as we hit this 25-minute mark. They're everywhere. They're rotating together now. They're no longer scared of Rascal alone on the side lane. They're actually making big commitments to Canyon.
Whoa, that's a pole flash as the shockwave comes through as well. They just eviscerate the Xayah before she can even ult. Sleep comes down, lands onto a couple. The Unbreakable Will is going to be there. Beryl looking for that Pulverize, doesn't quite find the good positioning as Canyon gets that flash in right before the orb was going to take him out, as Rascal now looking to collapse and grab these low health members. Blind comes down. Canyon throwing spears to deter them from getting here, and it looks like Gen.G aren't going to be able to follow up. The phalanx of Damwon Kia not broken yet.
Yep, they stay together. They end up getting a 1-for-0. And, you know, the fact that they had to retreat, so we're going to watch this collapse onto Rascal right after this. You know, we can see if you look at the minimap, you can see as well, this happens, and everybody's still around the Baron side for Gen.G. They have so much to clear that they can't actually trade that back. But you kill, right now, if you kill Ruler, the, you know, AD carry, you're like, okay, well, that's their damage gone. No, not in this composition. They're all damage. So Damwon Kia actually can't stick around here. They have to leave. They can't fight in this choke point. But it was a nice, really well done surgical removal of Ruler from this game, and they do get a nice retreat here as well. But yeah, you can see that you can't just kill the AD in this game. You can't just kill the marksman and go, well, this fight is ours. You gotta take a little bit more than that.
Well, I mean, it is good timing for it because, you know, they do have a couple of marksmen, but when Rascal's dead, certainly an opportunity to just collapse onto Ruler and grab that kill. Worked out pretty well for Damwon Kia.
Yeah, nicely done. Unfortunately for them, there's no objective that they can force a fight on right now, so that's why you see this kind of awkward 5-man grouping around mid. Canyon keeps looking for some spear damage from the side so that Beryl can maybe commit in and they can actually try to look for a kill or two.
This is what we were talking about as well, is the poke advantage as well as teamfight advantage for Damwon Kia in the draft.
Yeah.
The side lane, as far as 4-1, should be won here by Rascal. As you can see, Khan, though, just trying to outskill him. Misses the Gnar, though. So unfortunate. I feel like I may have cast a curse in there, but still, Rascal gets the message that maybe he can't actually win against the Gnar straight up anymore, and that is a disaster for Gen.G.
Yeah, that's where you're really starting to see that, well, this game is no longer controlled by Rascal. He's no longer got his hands around the throat of a Damwon Kia that can't move, can't do anything. You know, the game has changed. The hunter has become the hunted in a lot of ways. He didn't have vision anywhere around his jungle as well, just next to the lane. So even though he might have wanted to try to get that kill there after the miss from Khan, there's just not enough vision, there's not enough information, and it was going to be very close either way. Better not take a risk right now, because every death and every pick for Damwon Kia is worth way more than one on the side of Gen.G, because their composition is way better for team fighting around these late game objectives. So you can't afford to lose anybody right now if you're Gen.G. You can't make any mistakes. You have to play the rest of this game basically perfectly.
Ooh, nice vault to get him over the wall, but the hop is there from Khan. Misses the boomerang, though, as he gets blinded. Good flash to get out of the Gnar. But Khan, continuing to exert dominance, gets a slow under life there at the same time. They think they've caught out Ruler, and they may have, down to 50%. As look at this. I mean, this is the example of what we were talking about in the draft, right? Like, what can they do when Damwon Kia are set up? Even when it comes to poke, like, they have to focus on a different objective, try and run the map. And Gen.G are going to do exactly that. They take a couple of minions towards this inner turret. They should be able to take that one down, as now Gen.G, 5 members in the area, only 3 left available for Damwon Kia as they take down this Drake on the other side.
This is a big symbol of where we are, too, at this late stage of the game. They had vision, and they knew that at least one, I think they didn't quite see everybody, but they knew at least one member was probably on the Drake there, because they saw the group up with that ward that was on the Raptors. And they still couldn't commit to a fight because they can't. They're just too slow. They don't have the range to poke it out, and they can't hard engage into it because it's just, the fight becomes slow then in that way, and then the rest of Damwon Kia just rotates over and win it. So even when they're trying to look for a fight, they're trying to look for picks, and 2 members of Damwon Kia are on the Drake, they still can't force a fight. That's a worrying sign. That's a symptom of where this game is headed, which is Gen.G having to close this out with picks and trying to get kills right now. But if Damwon Kia just group up as 5, I just don't see any way for Gen.G to just win a straight-up team fight, right? It has to be pick-based. It has to be someone overextending. It has to be a kill in the side lane, which is what Rascal looks like he was, at least for a second there on the minimap, looked like he was going to go for.
But I mean, I don't even think he wins, right? I don't know whether Rascal is going to be strong enough to be able to just straight-up take down Khan, despite the fact that he is still very far ahead in the matchup. Feels like Khan has been able to keep himself alive in these matchups very, very effectively, as he's just going to continue split pushing. And when it's the Gnar split pushing against the Quinn and having priority, That's when this Gen.G roster feels like it's falling down.
Yeah, you can't match them in a fight. So if you try to come over, as Khan is crushing this right now. If you try to come over to collapse here to save Rascal, then you get caught, you get blocked by the rest of Damwon Kia. As you can see here, just how difficult it is for Gen.G. They have to back up through mid, take the long way. They almost have to walk over through their own base, which gives full control of the map to Damwon Kia here. You can't just deal with the Gnar against this comp, because they are going to look for a fight. They are going to fight you in your rotation. They are going to slow you down. And Khan is having the time of his life.
Yeah, and as soon as they see more than one person on that bottom side of the map where Khan was, then they just take the Baron. They've got so much Baron damage with a composition like this, with, you know, Nidalee and the Kai'Sa, that it's just, how are you supposed to stop him? And Rascal's now finding himself on the back foot, and it's just not working. We said that we had question marks about the draft. I think Gen.G played the early game about as well as they possibly could, but it's really starting to slip away from them. As 2.5 minutes on this Cloud Drake, the Baron is still looming for both of these teams. It really does feel like we've had a momentum shift, Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, when you're building tanky on the Lilia with your Moonstone Renewer, that's when you know you're getting desperate. And I mean, look at the way that Gen.G moves around all these wards. They're like, ooh, I don't know if we can even clear these wards, because if they just group up and fight us, then we die. And so they're trying to slowly clear wards while being relevant around the Baron pit. They put Rascal in the side lane again to try to get some extra farm, but he's not going to be able to push far enough. Like, we're at the state of the game where he can't actually threaten turrets anymore. He's never even going to get close to an inhibitor turret. And so Gen.G are like, what do we do? How do we set up for a fight? I think they just have to control choke points, try to control vision as best as they can. But if they had a second side laner, like if they could 1-3-1 this somehow, maybe they could pull Damwon Kia apart. But because all they have is the Quinn, there's just always a match. And oh no, Rascal.
Yeah, that's a decent flash out there from Khan. Avoids the stun, and he's going to use a Stride Breaker, gets himself away. And that is an extra person on the bottom side. Yes, B2D has the teleport available, but Damwon Kia now understand that they can get through, get some more wards. And a minute left on this Cloud Drake. It is going to continue to be Cloud Soul, you know, for the rest of the game for Gen.G. We'll see whether they have an opportunity to get over there. The extra movement speed, of course, going to be fantastic for people like Rascal. Ultimate cooldown does absolutely nothing for him, but, you know, at least he goes a bit quicker.
Gen.G are now even starting to get bullied around the map. Damwon Kia no longer kind of slowly, carefully approaching these chokes. They're actually aggressively setting up for spears, more than they were even earlier. I mean, I think maybe you could hope for a missed shockwave or surviving a shockwave engage, then trying to turn. I'm looking for best case scenarios here for Gen.G. With this group up, finally Rascal's left alone for just a second.
We're doing this weird 4-1 situation as well, Wolf, where we've got an inhibitor turret under fire on the bottom side of the map for Damwon Kia, but Gen.G, they've sent Rascal to try and take down the inner turret. He'll grab it, but now Gen.G are wondering what the heck they're supposed to do now, because they're just trading possibly an inhibitor. Yeah. As B2D is going to rotate over, but this is already gone. And Damwon Kia just once again, you know what, I feel like we're looking back towards 2020, where they had just every macro decision was better. Yeah. It's continuing to be the case as they grab 2 turrets against 1, and we're also not going to take the inhibitor on the bottom side, just to mean that they're not going to get frozen on, unless this minion wave that is gigantic is just going to be able to take it for them. Now fight around the dragon.
Yeah, this is it. This is Damwon Kia's first real fight. Very likely here. Khan setting up for this. Showmaker on the bottom side of the fight, so they are a little bit disconnected here. They're slightly vulnerable, especially while Gen.G is hovering on this choke, but they get forced away. Rascal on the flank.
This could be game over if this actually is a teamfight win for Damwon Kia, because there are minions on Nexus turrets right now. There's a flash in, the 4-man pulverized from Beryl. His Alistair's always so good. They wipe the floor with the Lilia. Now Life trying to get Showmaker here as Canyon gets a big old shield from the Command Protect. Rascal just flashes on over and grabs that kill, but Kai'Sa's going to fall down. A bit of gameplay has struck him in the face. As now Gen.G, they're scattered, they're trying to run, and Ruler's just going to try and pick up the pieces of the base.
Yep, the inhibitor is down. Showmaker still has his ultimate available, so even trying to commit in here, if Gen.G was going to maybe look to try to go 2v1 or something like that, it just feels so unrealistic. As watch Beryl here, he's looking for an opportunity in this choke, And you see Rascal's going for the flank, but look at this barrel by himself. It's just like, nope, triple pulverize, and Khan is going in. Follow-up stun is there, and Ghost has so much damage output. On the other side of the fight, Canyon is caught, but he buys so much time. He has his Zonias available, he goes golden, and everything is just going to pieces now for Gen.G as BDD falls.
That was 100-0. That's really rude.
Yeah, that's the first step into Damwon Kia winning this game. It feels like they finally got their proper 5-on-5 team fight, and it did not even go closely in favor of Gen.G. I mean, it was a fairly even trade, but the fight was dominated by Damwon Kia, and they got the Drake. And this is a precursor to what this next Baron fight very likely will look like.
Well, let's see who's going to start it off first at the moment. It is controlled by Damwon Kia. Good stun comes out from BDD, though. He throws down the ulti, and he is so strong. BDD is huge right now. And Void Staff doing a whole lot of work, but in the end, Ghost is going to win the 1v1 against the Quinn. Precisely not what you want if you're a Gen.G fan. That's going to even the playing field, as now the Shockwave onto 2 members. Featherstorm now on cooldown, but that's a very dead cow, and Ruler keeps himself safe.
Yeah, this was actually a bit sloppy, I feel, on the side of Damwon Kia here. You know, they are able to trade that kill back onto Rascal, but at the same time, it's kind of walking into that insane damage output was Beryl. I mean, he had an amazing pulverized setup in the last fight, but this time it was not the same sort of situation where Gen.G were split. They were ready to actually turn on him and focus him down and front to back that fight. This is a little bit of an awkward vision fight here where neither team really wants to take the commitment.
Yeah, it feels like
in favor of Damwon.
Yeah, Gen.G were looking for some resets and did get slowed down, so we'll give Damwon Kia a little bit of extra time as we have a look at the replay of BDD just destroying a nice full tank, by the way.
Yep, does go down. Meanwhile, Rascal tries to flank Ghost here, and Ghost is who's flanking whom. Baron control to Damwon Kia after that vision sweep that they had.
Imagine if that bowling ball had have stole the Baron. Flawless, of course, had no blast cone, no flash, couldn't get in there. Bowling ball was his last option, but that is just going to be a free Baron over to Damwon Kia. We were watching the replay before the setup, but you did notice all of those backs stopped, and that's why it's so valuable to deny your opponent the ability to go home and restock on those wards. Because Damwon Kia now have themselves a Baron, and it feels like the beginning of the end. They already had so much control around team fights, around objectives, and I feel like the relevancy of Gen.G's composition is slipping away.
Yeah, the sun has sunk beneath the horizon on this one. It's a dark night for the Gen.G composition, and when Rascal went for the flank as well to try to kill Ghost and just got obliterated, that's another one of those picturesque moments as the game state has changed so much since the early game. And this has been a very long game because Damwon Kia has had to claw it back, but their composition was made to claw it back. You know, we're almost about to hit 40 minutes.
Yeah, Big Wolf being stolen there by Flawless. I actually think that Flawless has had a decent game here. I think a lot of the issues for Gen.G weren't necessarily gameplay related. I think Flawless had a good early game. He's gone for this very interesting build, as we do have the Dead Man's Plate finally completed alongside his Force of Nature. Full tank Lilia with the Moonstone. Doesn't have the staff, so we haven't quite got there yet here in the LCK.
I think, I mean, the thing is, these fights are just not going to be long enough, I think, for the staff to really actually get its full value. So he just wants to be more tanky and be able to potentially even get up there and try to smite, steal some Barons away. Obviously, last time he had the bowling ball only, but I look at this situation, Atlas, and I think, how did Gen.G fight this? How do they set something up? I mean, Rascal is getting killed when he tries to flank. I mean, Damwon Kia have almost brought the kills back into their favor at this stage.
Yeah.
And they have vision control over this Drake.
I'm going to tell you how they win. They win if Ruler pops off in a team fight and kills everyone. He's got 6 items, one of them being a Lord Dominic's Regard, which is going to be very necessary against Khan, who's got himself a Thornmail. That Drake was there, and then it wasn't. As Canyon going to get stunned up by BDD. That flash forward was a little bit odd from Beryl. Doesn't quite find Rascal. Still holds onto his flash button, but Damwon Kia just staying grouped up to try and break down the base where they can.
You could see when Gen.G move around the map, they're hoping somebody is alone. They're hoping for somebody to be isolated. They're hoping they can find someone off to the side they can pick. This is really a case of 5 fingers versus the fist, right? I mean, Damwon Ki are just rotating together as 5. There are no weak points. There are no holes in their armor here. There are no holes in the phalanx that you called it earlier. That is Damwon Kia's composition. It's well-rounded. It's meta. Everyone is fed. You know, I mean, sure, Showmaker's had a rough start to this game, but he's already got his 4 items online now, though. I mean, we're 40 minutes into the game, so you just forget about the early game. It doesn't matter because all that matters in League of Legends is whose Nexus dies first. And at this stage of the game, when Damwon Ki rotate as 5, their 5 is stronger than Gen.G's 5, so they have to try to split. They have to try to find something on the side. They have to maybe try to side lane, which is so difficult right now for Rascal. Maybe he could find a kill onto Ghost. Oh no, Ghost killed him. You know, it just feels like there's no way to make this theirs unless Damwon Ki make a mistake. And they have played this so carefully over the last 20 minutes of gameplay. There just haven't been any glaring mistakes. Everything has been well thought out. I mean, Maya's barrel getting picked that one time, a little small overextension. But if you're relying on that as Gen.G, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Nope. And we're going to have a look at the gold graph. Of course, it was all Gen.G favored. They still have a slight gold lead, but 1,000 gold at 42 minutes into the game means about 0 right now. And you have to have a look at the compositions as to, you know, who's going to be ahead. We now have the Mercurial Scimitar completed. For Ghost, he's got 6 items. This is a very scary Kai'Sa. Same can be said for Ruler, right? He's still a raid boss, as well as BDD, who has his 6 items complete as well. That's a full item ahead of Showmaker.
Yeah.
That gameplay button does need to be respected. But I don't know whether they have the same level of staying power that Damwon Ki have demonstrated so far this game. They can, of course, do it. It's just going to be so much harder than a more front-to-back aspect of what Damwon Ki are going to try and do.
They have all the tools, Alice, right? But they don't work together as well as Gen.G's, you know? You have all the best, you know, PC specs, but if you haven't actually built them together, it doesn't matter how good your processor is if you don't have a motherboard, right?
That's true. That's true.
And I feel like that's
that one.
That's kind of where we're at in this game. Because Damwon Ki are a well-oiled machine at the stage, and Gen.G are... I mean, this game is going to go on for a while, too, because Damwon Ki are not going to overextend and make mistakes, because 43 minutes into the game, whoever gets wiped loses the game. Like, if you end up getting wiped, it's over.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Both of these teams have to respect each other so much, and because we're 6 Drakes in, we're going to get the maximum 7, probably. Oh, hold that thought.
Yep, Canyon actually getting turned on, does have the Commander protect as in goes Ghost and just pops Rascal once again. It's another solo kill. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're going the distance on these 7 Drakes, and then we'll have the Elder Drake coming. That's where probably the game is really going to come to its logical conclusion.
But it's a 50-second death timer. This base was already broken. Khan's going to take the inhibitor down once again. The Baron is spawning right now. Like, that was the perfect time to get a pick. And that's what Rascal thought he was getting. But unfortunately, it works out the complete opposite. As now, Canyon over here has the Primal Surge to keep himself safe, as well as having all of those shields. And thank goodness for Showmaker, able to keep alive the kitty cat. And the follow-up is just so comfortable. Ghost just gets in there. I don't know how. Yeah, that cow managed to get out, but Khan in position here. Not going to be able to take the Rift Scuttler, so this Cloud Drake might go to Gen.G, but the Baron's already dead. The base is already in shambles.
Canyon gets found here, but he's so fast. He's got his shield as well, and Ghost is like, nope, sorry, man. Like, it's not even close. Like, it's not even a, oh, well, maybe I could turn on Ghost here. Not at all. It's not even cooldown based. It's just damage numbers here. You know, a Kai'Sa 6-1-1. All our items just going to do much better than a Quinn, who's trying to go and flank a Nidalee. She's got so much escape power. You know, she's just going to run out of there in cat form. Damwon Ki do want to go ahead and force this fight around the Drake pit as it spawns in 15 seconds. And how did Gen... Oh, no.
Well, at least...
That's your stopwatch gone.
At least Damwon Ki don't know. Yeah, that's actually just a dead stop. Oh, my... No, that's a disaster.
I mean, look, it's his first time playing in 2 years. There's a lot of pressure to fill Klid's shoes here. I don't want to say rookie mistake, but, you know, it's been a long time since we've seen Flawless, and this is why I said at the beginning, highest pressure game ever. Do you really want to put Flawless in? I mean, nobody could have said that that's the reason why you broke his stopwatch there. It's probably just a misclick, but either way, the pressure is mounting. It is extremely high here, 45 minutes into the game.
he forgot to switch slots, I imagine.
Yeah, probably put on the wrong
forward
spot.
in the other position, so just a little bit unfortunate. Spear going to connect onto Ruler there, but he has a Bloodthirster. He'll be fine. He's been going to the shop and just rearranging which items he wants to keep. Because, of course, 540 CS here at 45 minutes is a pretty impressive number, to say the least.
Yeah, that's I think the biggest one I've seen so far. This also, I think, is very close to being the longest game I've commentated.
Well, this is the longest in the LCK so far. Of course,
Yeah.
our second longest was up on your screen a little while ago at 43 minutes.
Yeah, it was that Afrika's DRX game, I believe, wasn't it?
I think it was a
actually see the
Nongshim game. It was one of the Nongshim games. I don't remember which one.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't paying too much attention as there was stuff going on the screen. This is
Yep.
also dead even when it comes to gold. But positional advantage definitely there for Damwon Kia. They just haven't really been able to get into the base and threaten the Nexus. There is one Nexus turret.
Yeah, one Nexus turret, and you know there's an inhibitor here in mid that's completely open. Baron buffs up for 20 more seconds. They're gonna try to push the issue here,
Yep.
and that's gonna give them control of the map for this for the rest of this game.
Siege minion gets
if it
taken
goes
down.
down.
Oh my goodness, this is so
Canyon
close.
can't get it.
All right, top side of the map though, you can see the Nard getting to work on the inhibitor turret himself as Canyon not going to have his Banshee's Veil for the next little while. As Ghost getting shielded up. Sleep comes in, but now that's on cooldown. Flawless. Feels like he's feeling the pressure here, guys.
I feel like there's no reason to actually commit to killing this inhibitor right now. They could definitely back off, at least until they have a minion wave.
Oh,
This is
Rascal.
actually asking for trouble.
Khan was looking for it. Didn't proc the last hyper there. Gets himself into Mega Gnar. Sky Strike just to try and clear out these minions. BDD moving on over. Spear is going to miss. Now Damwon Kia, as this pressure mounts, will be able to move in and take down the mid inhibitor. Minion wave a bit far away from top side, so it looks like it is just going to be reset time. As, yeah. We have the Elder Drake spawning in 3.5 minutes. That 7 maximum elemental drakes comes through. This is definitely a marathon, Wolf.
Supreme late game, everything coming together here. The longest comeback of all time. But it feels like at this stage, Damwon Kia are massively ahead. They're behind 300 gold, the smallest of margins. But also, they have 4 Cloud Drakes, Cloud Soul. They have all of the map opened up. There's 2 waves of minions going mid and bot towards the Gen.G base. Obviously, only 25 more seconds on that bot inhibitor. Well, they've controlled this map. They've played it slow. They've played it passively. And all they really have to do is wait until that Elder Drake spawns, control vision around it, which is basically going to be free. They already have it. They already have the wave advantage. They have 2 inhibitors. They win it. I mean, they can look for picks here on the side as well. I don't know if this is the way you want to win the game, though. I feel like as long as you just play safe and wait, like, how can you lose this game as Damwon Kia? That's why I was worried when Barrel was like, well, I can get that last kill on the inhibitor. I'm like, just wait for the next minion wave.
Chill out, dude, chill out. Well, actually, you know, they are probably going to play it safe, Wolf, because they have been for the last 50 minutes.
Yeah, there's a history, there's a precedent for this.
Yeah, there certainly is. We just need to have a look at, you know, what's been happening. 6 items on Gnar as well. He's got a Wit's End built up as his final item. Showmaker will collect the rest of these minions because he wants to get his Rabbidan's death cap. We have a funny little box completed by the cow as our observers are illustrating for you. He's got a Deadman's as well as his chem tank. I mean, Barrel's going to be feeling pretty good in this game. As, of course, gets the extra ability haste now for the chem tank, so it feels a little bit better for the Alistair.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. Definitely going to be more supports, especially the Alistairs coming up here. Is right now, not everybody's grouped for Damwon Kia. This is actually a really good opportunity for Gen.G to grab Baron vision control. And they have a really fast clear time, so Damwon Kia really need to respect this. Khan is on a nice flank angle. What Rascal's looking for him. He's going to have to back off. And actually, this mid-wave pushed in. Gen.G, how do they capitalize on this? How much vision can they get on this Baron pit? This is where they want to go. This is where they absolutely need to try to take a stand in the choke points.
Well, vision going to be put up there, just letting Damwon Kia know that Gen.G haven't started this Baron. They're going to start it off now.
Look at the
Flawless,
speed.
pretty tanky right here as the Void Seeker does not find them. Full information given over to Damwon Kia, and Canyon's going to try and make this a 50-50. They just burst it down, though. Flawless, quick on the trigger finger as Life gets himself out of there, and Gen.G steal it away. Khan Trying to get through there with the boulder toss, but Gen.G have just, it's highway robbery.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really nice moment for Gen.G. And this is a game of inches right now, centimeters if, you know, you're in the part of the world that actually, you know, the majority of the world that actually uses the proper
metric system.
Yeah. But this is a game of small advantages, and all it took was a minion wave advantage and vision clear for Gen.G to say, you know what, we're actually just gonna, we have better positioning on the streak, and we have all of our items completed, and we have a comp that has no front line but has insane damage output. We're gonna take the Baron. And Damwon and Kia just didn't respond quickly enough. Now they have Baron buff for this really incredible fight. And what it looked like an impossible comeback for Gen.G feels very doable now. As long as Ruler doesn't get picked here on the edge.
Yep, Ghost actually dashing on forward. Oh my god, the explosion of damage. Ghost is going, no, very close to falling down. I thought the gameplay button was going to do it, but Flawless jumps over and picks off the Kai'Sa. The Rakan's going to fall down, and there's the Xayah as well, as this fight is so much closer. Beryl going to be taken down by BDD, and now Khan's going to suffer the same fate. Canyon running for the hills, and it felt like Damwon had control, but then Gen.G get the pick off, and Ghost is going to be kicking himself. Canyon, can he get in there? And he does! Takes down Rascal. 2 versus 1 now. Can Canyon actually save this as he's looking to try and get into the base? But no, he's not going to be able to.
Inhibitor. He has to back. He has to back. He has to try to slow this down. He has very little damage output against Baron minions that are coming down this base by himself. I mean, there's not much he can do, but he can't waste any time. He has to do anything. He has to hit any spears he can to try to stop this game from going down, but it just feels like it's too little too late. Yeah.
There are way too many minions. He can't actually stop them from crashing onto these Nexus turrets. BDD does way too much damage. Canyon knows that it's all over. Oh my goodness, stolen out of the jaws of defeat. They held on to the early game so well, did Gen.G, but it felt like the comp wasn't necessarily going to be able to get them across the line. It doesn't matter though, because in the end, it's a skill check and Gen.G come out on top.
Skill check, a great way to put it. Gen.G